Hello, everyone. This is my name is Michael Hautsager, and I also have part of my team for Reptilium, Micah Dewey.
Hey,
There's another part of our team who's not here, but will be here a little later. We wanted to give everybody an overview of the incredible events that happened in Palm Springs, and that would be in November of 2021. Um, we were invited to present our project, the Reptilium project, to a group of people who I want you to see some pictures, and I'll go through what happened. On this first screen here, you're going to see the tall gentleman. His name is Audi Rowe. When I was coming back from a conference in Miami, he happened to sit beside me on the airplane, and little did I know he was a partner with Ernst and Young. Ernst and Young is a very prestigious company that does consulting and tax accounting and auditing, all sorts of. I think there's 400,000 people in that company, and he quizzed me on the whole thing about, what are we doing with crypto? And I must have got him interested in the Reptilian project because 5 weeks ago, he called me up and said, "Can you bring your team out and present your project to our customers?" And I said, "Would love to." So next screen, that was Audi. Um, and the conference was held in Palm Springs, which is a beautiful place. Next, that was the lobby of the hotel. And there I was. And what they had set up for us, yeah, next one, was something called the Illumination Experience. And they wanted us to talk about possibilities of helping companies navigate in the future. What are some options? So when people walked in, they were first represented with this 3D immersive experience of a 3D video with headphones, and then there was a video that played. But then after the video that played, then the curtains came up, and then they went to these different pods. So we were one of 25 pods right there, and that's Audi showing, going over with us what was going to go on. What I liked about Ernst and Young, great company, was that they probably audited our pitch about 6 times, and every time they audited it, it got better and better and better. And it really, when it on Thursday and Friday when we gave the presentation, it just flowed so smoothly, and they were a huge help with us. That is the video. So everybody watched the video and it was done. And then they came out to the pods, and we were one of 25 pods. So if you go to the next one, that was us. So we were, if you notice, it says innovation brought to you by Reptilium. So Reptilium is our project that was presented. The very first screen was what Micah did. He talked about what is an NFT. We're going to actually go through the whole presentation with you so you can see what we presented, and it spurred a lot of conversation with people. Next one. Right beside us, this was actually Ernst and Young talking about blockchain. They had some really nice blockchain presentations, and they're building a very strong offering in the area of blockchain with the people that they're staffing. Next. And that's us. So there's my wife, Allison, me, Micah, and Mike. They call us the 3M, M and M&Ms. And on our table, we had a whole bunch of iPads. So as people would ask us questions, we would just fast forward to the part of the presentation to answer their questions. Next. Micah, this was how it worked. Us interacting with literally hundreds of people at it, throughout the whole week. Next. And we'll go through that later, but that was our screen. And what I like about Ernst is that they held back no expense. This was probably the most amazing feast that you can imagine. And they facilitated people getting together, talking about ideas, making connections, and it was just fun. That's all I can say. This is a group of people that helped us. So all of these employees here, these people that you see, they're Ernst employees. And they just kept coming around, helping our presentation, making it better and better and better. All A+ people. This is one of the pods where they did some VR stuff. This would be another pod. I think he was doing something with retail. And the next one, this is probably, I wish there was a better picture, but you see the EY. This guy was into 3D printing, but the difference is not only could he 3D print like cookies, but right beside it is he could 3D print in the future organs. So if you need like a new lung or a liver or something like that, he said in the future you'll be able to 3D print it. We'll see. Next. This was another one of the pods, and just like Crickets has an exoskeleton, he's developed exoskeletons for people to do work that normal human beings couldn't do. Pretty interesting. This was fitness in one of the pods. Next. This was, look, I think this was Microsoft came up with this one. It was a 3D avatar that you could actually interact with. So, and I'm not sure what this one, I know this was a health pod. Next. What I really liked was these clickers that everybody wore. So normally when you go to conferences, you come home with 100 or 200 different business cards, and then you have to type everything in. They had it set up to where you just joined the 2 clickers and all of the contact information exchanged. And you would only click with people that you wanted to have, a further relationship with. So I've never seen that before. I'm sure it's been out there, but super cool. Next. Talking about super cool, that's us again. Next. It was crazy. They gave us these jackets, and here we are in the desert, but they pumped in a whole bunch of AC, and so it was nice and cool in there. One of the pod areas where they open the question of how do technology-driven societies retain their humanity? So these are questions that we discuss. Next. And this fella here was right beside us, had a video camera, and everybody was making different expressions on their face, and the software behind it was telling people what their age was and whether they were happy or not, or sad, or different attributes based upon a database run against AI about the general feeling about how these people were. It was people enjoyed that. This was another pod, but the art was pretty cool. Next. Again, we're talking, so this was the blockchain guy right beside us. Go ahead. Next. And so I'm just going scroll through. I'm not going to go through every pod, but just scroll through these so you see what it looked like inside. Next. They even had a driverless car. Yeah, go back to that. I forget the name of the lady who was a race car driver, well known. She did the Daytona 500 stuff. She was there as a speaker and was very interested in looking at this car. So she came back and spent some time with it. This had to do with agriculture about there. And here's the group of people we worked with. These were the EY people. And next. And that was us. And if you squint real hard, you'll see our team in the very back. So yeah, them. Outside the area, where you see this gentleman speaking, right? I think he was the director of that movie, Schitt's Creek. So he was inside speaking. Then they had a video outside where you can watch and talk. At night, this is how we enjoyed our evenings with bands. Again, money didn't seem to be an issue. Go ahead, next. And some of the people that were there. This picture I took outside my hotel window. That's not a postcard. That was on my phone. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So All right, so that gives you guys a little bit of an overview of what we experienced in Palm Springs with Ernst and Young. And now let's get into the presentation. I want to just keep this for, we're now in December of 2021, and I guarantee in a month, this will all change and it'll be updated. But I just want to show you where we were at in the middle of November. So this was the first screen, and I would talk to people. What got people into it is I would just say, hello, my name is Mike Kautsager. I'm the owner of a company called Premium Crickets. And I run a traditional company that chose to take a non-traditional way to grow the company. Let me tell you about the story. And so it was about NFTs. Go to the next screen, Micah. Okay. So the path that I chose was to take what's happening in the reptile industry, merge that what's happening in the physical world, and now integrate it into the digital world. That was the path. Next. And then
this is where I jumped in.
That's where you jumped in. So go ahead, do your part here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do my presentation as if I was going to do it like we were doing it there. So basically, I would just talk about, there are many different blockchains with NFT support, and it's important to know what an NFT is. It's a non-divisible digital asset supported by a blockchain standard. And unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other token, NFTs are serialized, meaning that no single NFT is exactly the same as the other. And so I was able to use a different way to, bring awareness to what NFTs are. And I thought that this was actually a pretty good explanation. So Ethereum would be the cash that you spend to buy a Rolex watch, which is the NFT. I can give you two $5 bills and a $10 bill, and you still have $20, which is fungible. That's Ethereum. While the NFT you bought is unique and non-fungible because the Rolex you purchased is a different Rolex than the one I purchased. And that normally got people going, okay, now I understand what the difference is, because a lot of people just didn't understand what the difference between Bitcoin and an NFT was. They just thought it was a different token. So getting to that part is normally good. And then we talk about, where are NFTs usually sold? We have Atomic Hub for Wax EOS, and we have OpenSea for ETH and Matic. And then we talked about, what are some of the biggest blockchain projects out there, and what are the general categories that they exist in. We've got art, gaming, music, and then general collecting. We've got games like Axie Infinity, Splinterlands, Farmers World, Farming Tales. We have collectibles like art, CryptoPunks, and Bored Ape Yacht Club. We have some general music art stuff going on with Beeple and Top Shot. So it's just a general overview of like what kinds of NFTs are out there currently.
So Micah, did any of the people recognize any of these games at all?
Yeah, a lot of people recognized CryptoPunks. A lot of people recognized NBA Top Shot.
How about Bored Ape?
Bored Ape had a few people with the Steph Curry references, but I think most people understood that they were a thing, but they didn't really know what they were. And so that's where we go. We ended up talking about, well, how would you actually go about creating your own NFTs? Well, you have to decide which chain, which marketplace. You have to actually design and create them. You can upload that file onto a server, then you can list them on a marketplace of your choice with those marketplaces that we talked about before. Obviously, there are many more than just those two. And then I just did a quick little demonstration here on how easy it is to actually create an NFT. We have a short little video here. It's like a minute long in the background. Basically, it goes into how you make an NFT on OpenSea. And then the next one also does the same thing for Atomic Hub for either Wax or EOS. So having short little presentation videos are great to be able to show people exactly how easy it is.
Yeah, it was nice because you could talk and then sort of let everything flip behind you.
Right. And so then next question is like, where does the value come from? Well, it comes from the token and the blockchain. So the Wax blockchain is the home of Reptilium and the NFT.reptile collection. That's why people are, it's on that network, it's on that exchange, Alcor. And the integration into other platforms is what's also driving value for us. So we have integrations in Cape, we have integrations in Taco, we've used Nifty Blocks, we use Atomic Hub. We try to use as many different sources as we possibly can in order to increase the value overall.
Yes, so let's just talk. So Taco is an app that runs on your phone.
Right.
And what's nice about Taco app is that our collection just fits right into it. So people can log on to it, and then you helped with this.
Yeah.
They can see how much of the token, the Reptilium token they're getting and what they have, and then they can also see their collection. And
Yeah.
one of the goals that we have is for people to go to shows or go to each other and swap collections and show them off.
Yeah, exactly. And Taco's doing a great service for everybody on Wax to be able to add these utility options
Right.
for everybody.
And
So
and you did like a lottery, so that was in Taco.
yep,
I think you donated one of our valuable
yep,
NFTs, right?
yep,
And it was part of a lottery just to build awareness with us. So the beauty is once something's on the blockchain, all apps can have access to it.
right.
Right? That's cool. And just like this is the store that you've created in Kate on the left-hand side.
Yep,
So what Mike is doing here is having, you don't have to have the wax token. You can have any tokens almost to
correct.
buy stuff. And we're going to see in the future lots of different tokens. Like my token is called RPLM, which is Reptilium. But Kate has their token and he works with other people to create their own tokens as well.
Yep,
But we want that interoperability, and that's what creates value, I
correct.
believe. Is because if I was to actually pay somebody and build a Kate shot and then build this taco thing, I'd be hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole.
Yeah,
But but I can just now, we call them in my world APIs, but application program interface. I just plug them in and then derive value. And the way they make their money is they just get a small percent of the revenue that transacts on their platform, which is beautiful.
correct. Yeah. It's a great model. It's a great system. Basically, we each build individual tools, make them available to everybody, and take a small cut on every transaction.
Exactly.
It makes it way better because then each individual project doesn't have to independently develop their own thing.
Right. And
And now,
if we did, it'd never get anywhere.
exactly. And then we move over to you where you can go ahead and talk through your thing, and I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, no, this was, so if people wanted to know, who are you and what am I doing? So I introduced, I am the owner of two companies that have been around for about 20 years, but Premium Crickets and Reptiles Express. So I'm a traditional company, but we ship millions of insects every week, and we ship also thousands of reptiles every week to people all over North America. We have attended as company hundreds and hundreds of different reptile shows. So we have a brand. We're well known in the reptile industry. And what's interesting about this industry is you'll notice they're collectors. So it makes sense doing something to a bunch of people who collect stuff, right? It was about this time last year, 2020. I was going through and saying, how do I grow the company? What do I do? We had a good year, but do I hire more employees? Do I build new buildings, sell more crickets? What do I do? And then I'm at that point also where, I've been doing this for a long time, and there'll be a day when I want to not do it anymore. So I'm thinking right now about a legacy. I considered NFTs, and in 2020, NFTs were sort of a new thing. So go to the next screen. I had to deal with a lot of questions about NFTs in general. Would it be appropriate? And the main one was, I remember this, somebody spent close to $70 million for a JPEG. And when that happened, that Beeble one, I was like, well, maybe this is a real thing. But as you read down through the whole rest of this, it's a long list of things that I had to deal with. But next screen, but I finally said, let's do it. Once I came to the realization that an NFT it's a digital asset that I can monetize. And I like that. And I didn't want to build any new buildings. So what I like about NFTs is they don't require any physical space. I don't need to hire people. I don't need to heat a building. And the security is built into blockchain. So I don't have to worry about security guards or anything like that for assets that I put in a building. Really love this part, that once I mint a NFT, then it is available to people, not only just North America, which is where I sell right now, but the world. So, wow. So I mint it, available to the world right away. And now I have that opportunity, since I am a brand leader in the reptile industry, I can take that brand and project it out into the digital world. Sold. So, oh, here we go. And Reptilium was born. And the main goal of Reptilium, this whole project, is we want to build it up to sort of $1 billion entity. And this will be my legacy project that I leave to the reptile industry. Like with any goal, you have to have strategies. Oh, we're going into the, okay. We had, as of November, when did we launch, Micah? We launched this thing in
in July of 2021.
July, right? So it's only been 4 or 5 months. So we've had quickly a lot of successes. And I think it's because me bringing Micah on board with us, and he had a group of people that he was already working with. And so he was a trusted resource. But we did, we did these drops of NFTs that he created. They sold out in minutes. We did something called a breeder. In our industry, breeders are the ones who create the reptiles. And so we had packs of breeders' animals. They sold out. Well, we raised 71 grand in 3 days, which was crazy. And this is even crazier. As of the beginning of November, the fully diluted market cap, doesn't mean we can get that much, was nearly 64 million, which was insane. But the actualized combined market cap, as far as the tokens that we have out there, was $122,000. But what I really liked was just the number of people that are interested in this project. So there are 12,000 wallets out there, wax wallets, that are holding the RPLM token. We have so far 1,300 people who are holding NFTs, and we've so far minted close to 30,000 NFTs. So pretty good start right there. But as we project forward, what are we going to do to achieve the goal? And I've come up with, as I think about the project itself, I have these 5 strategies, which I'm always working on. Number one is, this Reptilium project has to grow and support the core businesses, Premium Crickets and Reptiles Express. Later on, you're going to sort of see how we're doing that. Number 2 is, I believe that our industry is really based upon the success of breeders. Without them, we have nothing. So we need to create a platform where they can make a living, they can quit their jobs and just become a full-time breeder. Number 3 is the shows. I've done hundreds and hundreds of reptile shows. Honestly, they need that next bit of juice to make them a little more exciting. So we want to build those reptile shows into collectible events. The 4th thing I think is important is we should have a social cause to it. And so, we have a lobbying organization which has 1 person in it, which isn't enough. I'd like to see that maybe 10 or 20 people. We need to help fund that. And then a lot of times people will buy an animal, but they don't want it after 6 months. So maybe we can have NFTs to rehome animals. That would be exciting. And if we could actually be a little more socially responsible for the animals that we create, all the better. And then finally, what my goal is to create a DAO. A lot of you don't know what a DAO is, but it's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's sort of the way that companies are going to be formed in the future, where you don't have a ruthless tyrant dictator like myself running it, but it's a group of people that follows, a governance. So I'm going to work with people to create governance in this DAO, and then slowly but surely sort of give it out, give the responsibilities to the group, and then turn it over. And then hopefully the group will do what's best for the breeders and for the reptile industry. So that's what I'm working on. All right. So you saw earlier, one of the slides was we got to take what's happening in the physical world into the digital world. So in order to do that, you need to chunk things out. And I like to chunk things out in the physical world is I'm saying that the breeders create physical NFTs, right? So I'm thinking about a snake or a lizard. That's a physical NFT. They have three chunks. One is, and you'd be shocked if you went to a lot of people's homes and looked in their basement, you would see rows and rows and rows and stacks and stacks and stacks of reptiles that are breeding. That is, there's more of that going on than you know. So one chunk is breeding. Then once they breed them, they go to reptile shows or online and they sell them. And then once it's bred and sold, then they go into this phase called collecting and enjoying and stuff like that. So those three chunks, that's our ecosystem. And what we want to do is build games that fit into those chunks. And we're going to keep building games that build it all up. So one of the games that we have right now is on the component one is we're taking this concept of what breeders do, and they breed physical NFTs with a breed to earn model. That's what they do. So we're going to mirror that with a play to earn model to where you can actually buy an NFT of a cricket farm, buy an NFT of a rodent farm, and then you can play a game and you can earn crickets and earn rodents, and you can put them up for sale for someone who wants to upgrade their animal. So it's that whole ecosystem. There's a game called Axie Infinity, and that launched in the summertime. And in a few months, it's like a $3 billion in sales with an $8 billion market cap. And it's Axie Infinity is just axolotls that are fighting each other. But it's using that whole play to earn. So we know it works, and we're going to implement it our way, and we'll see how that goes. I think in the next few days, we're going to run it. All right, so the next one is component two is, so we have all these things. Now we want to sell, NFTs. Major concept here is we want the breeders to make more money in the digital space than the physical space. Let's look at some of the problems that they have right now with the physical thing. So you see a picture here of a bearded dragon. They put all that time and energy and love and effort and cleaning poop out all the time, right? Into that. They work really, really hard, and then they sell it, and that's it. It's gone. So what we're thinking about doing is we're going to create a website. It's not done yet, but the breeders will be able to eventually create their own digital versions of a animal that they created. There'll be two sets. One will be the one of one NFT that goes along with the sale of the animal, and that will have the breeder, the date of birth, the genetics and the lineage and all the photography that goes with it. So that we call that the metadata, that will travel with the animal as it's sold at shows or online through QR codes. But then the breeder can create, 10, 50, 100,000 different digital versions of the one animal that they create. That can now go onto a marketplace. Eventually, where we see it going is, we'll create like a 3D version of it, wrap the pattern around it, and put it into metaverses. That's a little down the road, but that's where it's going to go. But the thing is that animal, which is in the digital space, will be linked up to directly a real animal and a real breeder. So lots going on there. Next. All right. So then the third one is we just call it component three, just collecting, enjoying. So let's have some fun. One of the ideas, I think this came from Micah, was let's do something to help a breeder during the breeding phase. This could be something fun to collect, enjoy, and so we worked with Steve Casino. He's the cartoon character down there. He's a real guy. But we said, Steve, give us a breeding project and let's see if we can help you make money while you're breeding the animals, which he's never done before. So Micah created an NFT of his breeding project, and we're able to actually get pictures of the snakes. Those are the two snakes that he bred together. A morph market, you could get the percent probability of him producing certain rare snakes. It's not a given what the offspring will be, but Micah came up with this as a game. So he created this NFT, which when you open it, it does a random redemption of different genetic options that you could win. So we're looking at number of genes. So the more genes, the more valuable. And so as of this moment, the snakes have been born. And what we will do is we're going to have a video event where Steve will present his snakes directly to 3 people who we're going to call them oracles, but they will attest that the value of the snake and the number of genes that they see in it. So the people who actually have bought the packs with the redemption, and if it's a very valuable pack as signed off by the oracles, they'll get a fairly big reward for getting that. We're going to tweak that model, but I can see the goal is to help promote breeding projects and help promote Steve getting money while he's trying to do them. I think we've sold, Micah, how many have we sold so far of these?
So the pack sale has ended. We sold 3,167 packs, which basically turns out to about just over $2,000 in Reptilium that has been brought in, and half of that's going to go to Steve for him to be able to pay for his supplies and stuff. So,
and Steve doesn't know this
yet. He doesn't know that yet either. So we're going to surprise him with that on the.
We're going to surprise him. He's got a wax wallet out there, and he's going to be very happy. But it's what's been nice is, most of these people have said, Mike, I don't know what the heck you're doing, but I trust you. Keep going and I'll work with you. So that's pretty cool. So he's got like $1,000 credit in Reptilium right now, right? That's huge. That's huge. And then the others is going to go for rewards and stuff like that for all the other people.
Yeah. Basically,
so we're going to do
rewards pool.
Okay. So stay tuned. Maybe some updates. You'll see what's going on with this game. Really, it's exciting. Go ahead. Next. All right. And the hard part, in order to make this work, is to create a community. Working with Micah was a real bonus because he already has a community in the techie nerd crypto world. But if we just keep this project in that world, it doesn't succeed. What we have to do is bring it into the everyday world. And so what I've been doing, you see a picture of me standing there with a computer screen and all the rest. We've been giving away NFTs at every show that I go to. Everybody who goes to a reptile show gets an NFT for free. And it's just really, at this point, it is just a lot of talking, and most people just don't get it, but there will be that inflection point where everybody will get it, and I won't need to do this all the time. But this just shows a typical reptile show. And got to go on podcasts, and I enjoy doing podcasts. They're fun.
I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link in the description of this video to the our appearance on the Nifty show, so people will be able.
That was a good podcast. So they asked a lot of questions, and all those people in there, when they heard our value proposition, said, "How can I help?" And so I look forward to working with all of them in the future. So let's see. All right. This is probably one of the things I'm most proud of, is I don't know if anybody's doing this, but it's the part of utility. So we are giving Reptilium utility. It's one thing to create great pictures of things, animated stuff and 3D and all that, but if you have all that and you can't use it for anything, what good is it? So we felt it was important that the NFTs we create produce a certain amount of tokens every week. It's different depending upon rarity, but be able to use those tokens on something. So Mike Waters, who's the guy that we work with to do all of our programming for years and years and years and years, has worked closely with Micah, and now we have integrated the Wax wallet directly into our main websites. So here's how it works. You bought a bunch of NFTs, it's producing Reptilium, or like Steve Casino and Steve's Morse, we did a breeding project. Well, he's getting all of that, I guess the tokens going into his wallet. Then when he goes on to Reptiles Express, the first one, he'll do a cloud wallet login, and he can buy shipping labels and supplies with the Reptilium NFT tokens that was produced. So this is the very beginning. I think we're the first to really do this way, and super excited. We just launched that integration last week. On the other side, we see what Micah's done with his store, and you can actually buy things in Reptilium through the Kate shop as well. All right.
And then, yeah, Mike Waters is not with us this afternoon, but that's fine. Basically, I can run through these slides real fast.
Yeah, you pretend you're Mike Waters.
Yeah, so basically, his challenge was merging crypto platforms into traditional e-commerce loyalty platforms, and then actually transitioning customers from coupon and fiat rewards to decentralized token rewards, which actually have more value and utility in the long run. So he built out the back-end infrastructure for Reptilium. If you go to the Reptiles Express website or the Premium Crickets website right now, you can now log in with your wallet and you can buy things using Reptilium. That is our first process here, and you'll see it just like this. So if you have an order total, you can redeem a specific amount of Reptilium. You can redeem the whole amount in Reptilium if you want to. And then you also earn a percentage on your order if you do not pay with Reptilium. So everybody who makes an order through the websites now is earning Reptilium passively, which is super, super, super cool. And then how can it be used? It can be used outside of e-commerce to retail and other services. It can be used as thank yous for business referrals. Virtual worlds where these products can be displayed and utilized, traded. We can also use these same systems for charity and donation trackings, and wherever our values take us in the future. And then that's where we would end it. And yeah, we have some other slides here at the end, basically just going over some more specifics on exactly what play to earn NFT games are, how we were actually tokenizing the tickets and coupons, and then just some information here on how to connect. So that was our presentation that we did probably several dozen times a day and for that event, and it was very good, and we got to see a lot of people. We got to see some market movement on Wax as a whole from that event, and I think as a whole it's been a really good movement tool for the Wax platform as a whole. And I think that that's only just going to continue to increase as time goes on, and as these systems that we're building continue to expand to more and more people. Because at the moment we're
just saying that as far as the price of Wax, I mean, I've been with Wax for years now, and isn't it odd that the day after we left, there was that Sunday.
Yep.
You sent me a text saying, what the heck's going on with the price of Wax? I think that was the largest increase in the price of Wax ever.
Yes. Over
a
short period of time, over a 24-hour period.
Like a 24-hour period. It shot up from like, I don't know, 40 cents to 90 cents.
Yeah.
And it's been hovering around pennies forever.
Right.
So can't prove that we had anything to do with it, but it was a little bit Interesting. I'll say that much, that it
Yeah,
happened at that time.
I do know that we had some impact, as there was one massive trade made
Mm.
right after I had finished talking to somebody who said that they were going to go buy it.
Uh,
So yeah, I mean,
didn't know he'd buy $1 million worth.
he bought, this person bought $3.4 million worth of wax.
So you never know who you meet.
So I
Yeah,
mean, those kinds of buys definitely push systems forward. And I
Mm.
think, I think I was talking about this earlier. I think there's like 4 or 5 really big NFT projects that an average person may have heard about. But I think over the next year, I think that might be 50, 100. I think it's going to just continue to explode, and we're just going to continue to grow. And it's
Yeah.
going to keep on putting out new things for all of our users to basically make value out of this community that we're building together. So I think it's going to go well, and it's gone well so far, and we're just going to
Yeah.
keep pushing.
So by the time you're watching this video right now, hopefully on Premium Crickets and reptilesexpress.com, you will be able to buy NFTs. So you can't yet as of this moment, but yeah, scroll down.
I will log in with, I'll log into Premium Crickets, or
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I'll show
That's
live here, so I can log in with my Wax wallet.
all
And
right.
it shows that I've got 8,082.40 Reptilium here. So if I wanted to go buy some crickets,
Yeah.
I could do that. I could go over here and I could buy 500 crickets for 59.95 Reptilium. And as we said, I have, oops,
Don't buy them.
82.40.
Yeah, I'll have to ship you some crickets in Canada, it looks like. But I mean, and what's cool is that he has programmed this to go out to Alcor, the exchange, to get the current exchange rate,
Yeah.
right? So
I
that's real time.
I don't think that part is actually live at the moment. But it will be soon.
It will be, yeah. So yeah, so that'll be real time, which is cool. But as you scroll down, just keep scrolling down a little bit. So, we see where you have different things like reptile shipping kits and boxes. And so all those categories, eventually what you're going to see right there will be NFTs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna all the breeders that we do NFT projects for, you'll be able to buy their NFTs here.
Yep.
But you'll be able to buy them other places as well. It doesn't have to be just with me.
Correct.
And that way we promote the breeders. The breeders make some money off of my website, which would be super cool, right? And then we're promoting the whole industry. I may also put in there some, rehoming NFTs that people can buy of hardship cases. So they could be right up on there, and then that could turn into a collectible thing. Go to Nifty Blocks real quick before I have to go. But yeah, into our thing. I want to just show this right here. And if you go into the marketplace, so this is Nifty Blocks, this is all of our stuff. But the marketplace is people have bought our NFTs, now want to resell them for whatever reason it is. And if you go to the oldest one, go to the ones that we first created. The very first one I did was the Orlando show. That's perfect right there. So, okay, so that is, we sold that for $15.
Yep.
And now I think some people have spent over 2,000, they spent over 3,000 for that. But that shows you the very first one that we did and what the giveaways are selling for. The ones that we gave away for free I think they're selling for like $100.
Yeah, they're about $100.
But that's the marketplace is doing that. I just think that's really cool. So these are all stuff that people have said love them, but for sale. And that's your market right there.
Yeah, we've seen a few sell for this one was 189 wax. So
Wow.
that's it's a little bit less than this, but not much, but 175 bucks. Average sale on these guys looks like it's about $25 to $30 on a free NFT. So
yeah,
that's a good
point. And I think the reason why that one has so much value was that was the first one.
Very first one, right? Yeah.
And people always, it's sort of like, what is it? The punks, the
Yeah,
crypto
the
punks,
CryptoPunks. Yep.
right? The reason why that has so much value is because it was the first one.
Right.
So we see that. Um, just do a real quick explanation of what you have on that left-hand bar with the blends and the drops and
Yeah.
stuff.
So you can always come over here to the drops. If you had previously bought a Repticon ticket, you would have gotten an email, and you can actually come in here and claim your free ticket.
Mhm.
So that's cool. There's also this guy here. Looks like there's still some available. So if you want to pick some up, you can pick that guy up. We have the marketplace, which I just showed you. When you're logged in, you can see which NFTs you have in the collection. Here, let me just do that real quick.
Yeah, once you log in, see what you got.
So
And again, this is cool. So Nifty Blocks, for those who don't know, is it is another application that
Yep.
sits on top of the Wax blockchain.
Yep, it's
Just
another
like
tool.
Premium Crickets will be an application that sits on top of the Wax blockchain.
Correct.
Reptiles Express will be, our website will be, and the stuff that you create will sit on top of it. And
Exactly.
this is just something that adds value to the NFT digital assets, which we mint and put in there.
Right, and then
Cool.
and here we also have packs. So if you have any packs like this guy here, I'll open it up real quick. Let's see what we get.
This is the breeding project.
This is
here.
one of the breeder packs. Yeah, the breeding
Mhm.
project packs. So I can't remember if I have a video on this. Let's see. Nope. Okay. So I got the chocolate butter, super chocolate butter ghost.
So that's got 5 traits.
5 traits. Yep. So if I had if one of the babies is a 5 trait snake, then I will be able to blend that redemption that I just opened. Hold on. Let's see here. So these NFTs will be able to be blended into a new version. It's going to load here in a second. We have a lot of blends. So, so like right now, these were from the Genesis drop. So I'll click on one real quick. So basically, in order to, yeah, I can actually do it. I'll show how this works too. So I have a common snake, common rarity snake, and I also need mice to upgrade it. It'll give me the reason why I'm upgrading it is because the common gives me 20 reptilian per week, but the rare will give me 80. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto select that and I'm going to blend it.
And I also want to show people that people playing the game that we showed earlier.
Yes, they will also be able to blend
mice.
Yep.
But they can produce mice, which they put into the marketplace for people who don't have mice, but want to upgrade their snake. Yes. This is how they would do it.
And then we have our little info page here. So yeah, feel free to.
So okay, so you upgraded it. Go back to the market, see if there's any mice for sale or something.
Let's see.
I don't know.
I think it's mouse. Yeah.
There you go. So those are, yeah, the game will be able to produce that.
Yes. Here, I can actually show those NFTs to you here. Hold on. Missing.
Right.
So these will be the new game NFTs. We've got the farm. Sorry, the farms. We have mice, and we have 1 mouse, but we also have NFTs that represent 5 or 10 or 100.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get those through playing the game. Hey, there we go. And they'll have value. There'll be the new blends for upgrading will have a different valuation on them, as far as like the actual mice and crickets, because you'll be able to upgrade your animals directly in the game on Telegram. So it will be a little bit different. And here's that new NFT that I just minted, or that I just upgraded to. And so you'll see that this one's going to be number 157 of 157, and I get 80 reptilian per week. So
yeah, so before you probably,
I was only getting 20, and now I'm getting
20.
80. Yeah.
Okay. And so you think about it, you get an 80 per week, it's accumulating. And if you're a breeder, or if you actually have animals, I mean, you can use that to buy crickets and
Yep, exactly.
Which is huge.
I could buy it. Yeah. I could buy crickets, or I could buy food, or I could just buy supplies that I need.
Or as we build out this ecosystem, you could take your Reptilium and go to the Kate shop.
Correct.
And maybe, buy a painting, or, buy some artwork, or buy, in the future,
Real life
anything.
redemptions. Real life redemptions are coming.
You could buy some music. You can buy a movie rental.
Yep.
There's just, the sky is the limit on what we can do. We're just at the very beginning right now.
Yeah.
So,
So I think
all
we're going to
right.
wrap it up here. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to join the Telegram or our Discord. And we will get to answering any questions you guys may have. So until next time, guys, thank you. Peace, y'all. Bye.